The Bible uses a word, and it's an interesting choice of words actually, in Psalms 42, which is where the where the word love is first mentioned in Psalms. And it's interesting that it's mentioned in the negative. It's mentioned in the don't do category. And so David says in Psalms 4 and 2, sons of men, how long will you turn my glory into shame? How long will you love vanity and seek after leasing? Leasing is an Old Testament way of saying lies and lying. Lies and lying. And so in this psalm here, the first mention of love, he's saying, hey, now that we're together, you got to stop loving empty, worthless, meaningless things. Hey, we're in this relationship now. If we're going to do this for glory, for better, for richer, and for health, if we're going to do this for goodness, then we got to stop looking after, chasing after vain things, and chasing after lies and lying. Now, let me talk about that because that's really what I want to emphasize. You know, sometimes I get the question, you may have heard the question, you know, what's the worst sin that you can commit? You know, what sin is the sin of all sins? You know, what is it? What is it? Please tell me. Some say suicide, yeah. But the Bible says that one, in terms of their response or reaction from God, is equal to all. But I find that there's a gateway sin. There's a gateway sin. When I was in college, I had a roommate when I lived in Boston, and you know we hooked up from church, met him at church, etc. Good brother, really good heart when he was not on the stuff. And I watched him go through 3 cycles while he was living with me of rehab and clean, to back out on the street, to rehab and clean, to back out on the street, rehab and clean. And I would often talk to him. He would tell me about the meetings he was going to and what they were teaching, etc. They always talked to him about this gateway. What's your gateway? What's the signal that you're now on the road and that road is going to end up where we know it ends up every time now? And for him, it was cigarettes. He knew, you know, he didn't like smoking when he was clean. He didn't smoke when he was okay. He didn't smoke. But as soon as he started getting on the road, it was a cigarette. Don't get bound up. I'm talking about, you know, all right? It was a cigarette. And so I would start to notice when I start seeing packs of cigarettes left in the kitchen that Charles was in trouble or on his way into trouble. And so the gateway to sin, it follows here. The gateway to sin is lies. Because once I start lying, start to lie, I now learn how to hide things. Right? I now know how to hide things. I hide things by telling people I'm not doing what I said I was doing, or I am doing what I'm not doing. You know, the lie seems to open the door. And so it's no wonder to me that when God talks about his glory for shame, he starts out talking about chasing vain things and lying. You know what else you know? When you're chasing vain things and you don't want people to know you're chasing vain things, you lie about it. Okay, I lie about it, y'all. Good. I lie about it. And so there's this thing about this lying. And as I meditated, you can't have a good relationship where there's no trust. And the first thing that breaks trust is untruth. And the only reason I have untruth is because I've decided to hide something from you. Now here's the problem. You can't hide anything from God. Right. So you ever had somebody lying to you and you knew they were lying? Okay. You knew, and they're sitting there, you knew. Yes. And so not only are they lying, you're offended that they don't realize you know they're lying. Okay. Even though you tell them, I saw you. Yeah, I did. And so that's how it is with God when we lie to God. He's like, I saw you. But that wasn't what I was thinking. Wait a minute. I know what you were thinking. I was there too. But that wasn't how I really felt inside. I really wasn't jealous. Yes, you were. And so this thing, if we're going to get into a love relationship with God, the first thing that's got to go is this whole idea of lying. Because lies come from only one Father. Okay. Only one Father. So if I'm lying, that means I'm having conversations with the devil. Okay. I don't even realize it. I think it's my idea. I think that's me saying, okay, here's what I'm going to tell her when I get there. I'll say I was there, and it was that, and it wasn't this and that. Yeah. No. That ain't you. That's the devil talking to you. You don't even realize it. You think you're talking. It's not you. All right, I got it. And if heaven forbid you got to include somebody, okay, remember now, when they call you, this is what you have to say. And so God is saying, wait a minute. In this new relationship that we have here, the old daddy got to go. He's got to go. Because we can't have a trustful relationship unless he's gone.
Amen.